Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of my Nations United Canada Edition Franchise Career Mode, call it what you will, series right here on FIFA 19. Today, the Canadians of Kaiserslautern continued their push for a top 6 finish in the Bundesliga. 18 games down out of 34. We have a very busy schedule ahead, and we are staying live for all of it. So let's get down to it. We're in the round of 32 against AZ in the Europa League. There's a lot to look forward to, so let's get right down to it, shall we? Start off with this away game against Mainz. Hopefully we can get a nice little win here, please. Hey, there we go. Park and Davies on the penalty. I'll take that. Not often we get... Well, actually, I can't say it's not often that we don't get goals from center backs. We've been getting goals from center backs quite frequently this season. I guess just defenders in general. And that sets us up for the quarterfinal matchup of the DFB Pokal against Nuremberg, which should be a win for us, I would like to think, as we continue to train up White and Clark. Of course, he will be our future right back. Let's see what we can do here. The beginning stages of February. The quarterfinals, lineup-wise, we are sticking with it. No reason to make a change after the win. Obviously, the fatigue factor could be a problem as we continue onward. I just want to hit the sim button. I'm going to. Can we beat Nuremberg? Yes, we do. They scored in the 89th minute to ruin the clean sheet, but ultimately the Clark goal in the 59th minute holds up as the winner. And we'll be moving on to the semi-final of the German Cup, which... repeating as champions would be gigantic if we don't finish in a top 6 spot. Of course, that would guarantee us more time in the Europa League next year. Although winning the Europa League this year would see us into the Champions League next year, which is the dream, to say the least. So far, this new setup's been fairly effective for us. We are going to continue onward. Park's a little bit tired, but let's go for it. It's a home game against Schalke, who we have traditionally struggled against over the past few years, but we do score 1 minute in. Clark, again, a little bit more effective from a goal-scoring perspective in this formation. Let's sim the rest of this game. My God, we beat Schalke. 2 goals from Clark. This new formation paying off in a huge way thus far. We are undefeated through the opening 3 games of this very busy month. And that brings us to the first leg of this round of 32 matchup, I believe, in the Europa League. Actually, it might be the round of 16. I forgot which one it is, what stage we're at. But it is against AZ. It is the round of 32. We will be taking on the Dutch club and the furthest we've ever gone into the Europa League. Now, here's the thing. We play Bayern Munich coming up. Well, we're going to have a tired team one way or another for that game against Bayern. I'm going to prioritize making it further into the Europa League than I am trying to win the Bundesliga. We're going to go for it. Let's see what happens. It's the home leg. I'm hoping for... Man, they beat Manchester United in their last game. I'm hoping for a good enough win here, a good enough performance, that it's not even a question about should I jump into the second leg. Alphonso Davies scores early. We're scoring goals for fun right now. Hopefully this is clear, concise, and we don't have to play that second leg. That's the hope. It's a risk to sim that second leg, but if we can get another goal here in the next 20 minutes, we're going to be in a very good spot. 10 minutes left. Can we hold on? Yes, we can. So a 1-0 victory at home. No away goals for AZ, which is huge news for us. Great news for us heading in to that second leg on the road. The question, of course, of whether or not we sim it, I don't know. I want to play it to be safe, but I also don't want to play with this team unless we are in danger of just absolutely blowing it, essentially. So it's a tough call. What we're going to do here... What are we going to do? Kerr is a little bit too tired to start. Park is also a little bit tired as well. This is a risk. We're going to bring K back in. And Moore is going to come in. He also has his pace isn't as good as I thought it would be. Let's go with Cooper. David up top. Couple of changes out of necessity due to the ridiculous schedule that we've carried. It's an away game against Bayern. They are currently in 4th, 4 points clear of us. But right now we currently sit in the top 6 spot. A win here would be outrageous. Casteels, Pavard, Shula, Hernandez, Goretzka, then Dembele. Then they get the goal from Shula. David able to tie it, though, 9 minutes later. They have one hell of a team, man. Iwobi scores in the 41st. Moore, off the bench, scores 2 minutes later. We're tied at 2. 20 minutes left. If this score holds, I'm fine with that. 10 minutes left. We've beaten Bayern before. Oh, Lukaku. 88th minute winner. I can assume that's from Romelu Lukaku. We end up losing to Bayern. That hurts. A draw there would have been huge. But ultimately, it's a 3-2 loss. That's our first loss of the month and of the episode. But we'll move on here to this second leg now against AZ. The good thing is the team should be rested up. The game against Freiburg, we'll see. We'll see what the team looks like at that point in terms of stamina. But let's get Park back into the lineup. And let's get Kerr back into the lineup. I know Moore's in good form, but there's no space for him. This is a massive risk if we lose this series or, this matchup here. I'm very much going to regret it. But we are going to sim this leg because we have so much to get to. If the team ends up in trouble further down the road, then sure, we'll jump in. But for now, it's pretty early. And I think if we needed help to beat AZ, then we don't deserve to go further in this tournament anyway. It's no disrespect to them, right? But if we take a look here at how we compare to them, it should be a win unless they have developed, in just ridiculous, almost unprecedented fashion. 79, 78, and 80, a 4.5-star team. And the Dutch club, 79, 75, 77. We should win. That's not a bad team, but that midfield, they have some question marks up top. We should win this. It's not a walk in the park. The good thing is, if we score a single goal, we really put the pressure on. I'm going to trust the team to get it done here. Let's see what we can do. They've developed quite well. The off-centered text bugs me a lot. If we can get an early goal here, especially just in general, if we can get that first goal, we're in a very good spot. Clark, they need 2 just to go to extra time. Well, hell, there's no extra time now, actually. I'm a fucking idiot. That's what the away goal is. They need 3 goals, or we're through. And it's not looking good for them. That's what I was going to say. There's no extra time now. Don't worry. I understand. I'm home and away. Legs. We're through. Wow. Back-to-back clean sheets from Cooper. We win each leg 1-0. Clark with the goal. And we are through to the round of 16 in the Europa League. So a disappointing loss to Bayern, but we bounce back in great fashion, handling AZ in the Europa League. Now, what will happen against Freiburg in this game with a tired team, that I don't know, but we're just going to keep this team the same. We'll let the AI handle substitutions and everything, and we'll see if we can defend home turf. But again, we are through to the round of 16 in the Europa League for the very first time. Of course, it's our first time in the Europa League, so it's looking good. We are on pace to potentially finish in a top 6 spot. Jonathan David scores in the 30th minute of this game. Let's sim the rest. 2-0 win. Another goal from a defender. It's Mathis this time, and the 77th minute seals the win, and we're looking good. Currently in a top 6 spot, we have the goal differential tiebreaker over Hertha Berlin. So, very promising stuff thus far, but we have a long way to go. We're still in the DFB Pokal. We're still in the Europa League. There's a lot of games to still be played here. 12 games left in the Bundesliga as well. But what a month of February that was. That was a banner month for us. We did so well. And in terms of scouting, hello Pierre Brown. Is there anybody else that wants to be good? Hello Frank Olson and hello Thomas Mathis. So we got a couple of additions that might work out for us. We do need to reassign our scout, although in terms of who to pick up and who to scout, I think we might look in general at this point. I don't know if there's anybody that I want to target specifically. I think we'll just go, because we've done technically gifted, we've done physically strong and defensive minded might be the way to go. I mean, if we look at the youth academy right now, or really here, if we look at the team that we have, obviously goalkeeper, we're fine. I mean, Taylor's pissed off that he's not playing. That's not surprising. Honestly, yeah, I think in general we actually need to we need to search for everything, because those two goalkeepers are good enough that they are not going to be content with just sitting on the bench. And I know I have opportunities to play them, but I'm rolling with our starter. That's just the way it works. I'm rolling with our number one. So if we have to bring in some midfielders on top of also having to bring in another goalkeeper that can train up, then so be it. This team is going to continue to roll until further notice. We play Bremen on the road Saturday, March 1st. They are in horrible form, which makes me think we could be in a little bit of trouble here. Can we get the first goal to take the pressure off? That would be lovely. I'm afraid to sim, man, unless we get that first goal. Approaching halftime. Nothing worth of note in that first half at all. We need a goal. I'm worried, man. This is destined to be a loss or a draw at best from the looks of it when it's this quiet. 10 minutes left. It's an uneventful draw. I'll take it. Bremen's a team I'd prefer us to beat, but ultimately I'm okay with that. And we get another easy draw in the Europa League. It's FC Basel. That is tremendous. So sure, in the league, a loss to Bayern. We draw Werder Bremen, but in the Europa League, things are looking pretty damn good. We play Basel in the round of 16, and compared to who those matchups could have been against, I feel like we just won the lottery to have two relatively easy matchups. Now, in the round of 32, Juventus, actually, wow, Lille knocked out Juventus. That's shocking. Bordeaux beat Athens. You had Leverkusen through on penalties, and Spurs threw over Copenhagen. You had Ajax knock out Lyon, Inter knock out Slavia Praha, Fiorentina over Arsenal is pretty surprising. Hertha Berlin crushed CSKA Moscow. Then, of course, we beat AZ. Sporting over Hoffenheim, Real Betis over Anderlecht. Basel knocked out Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then in the fourth bracket here, Everton over Olympiacos, Sevilla over Manchester United, Bayern over Roma, and Marseille over Feyenoord. So in the round of 16, it's Leverkusen and Marseille. We take on Basel. Sporting against Betis, Bayern against Bordeaux. And then in the second tier, we got matched up against the worst team that was left. By far. By far. If there's the one team you'd want to play out of this, it's Basel. It's not even close. I mean, Fiorentina and Lille, Everton, Sevilla, Spurs, Hertha Berlin, and Ajax and Inter. So we have all the reason in the world to get to the final 8, because we just got the most beneficial matchup that we could have possibly hoped for at this stage in this tournament. So that is tremendous. But God, dude, it's all just in between Bundesliga games. We have an international break at the end of the month. The DFB Pokal semifinal is at the end of April. That's against Leverkusen, which is not an easy matchup. It's the home leg against Basel. We're sticking with this team. We got a couple of tired players. Bobby Firmino, player of the month for Dortmund, which scares me for that league match coming up. But let's see what happens. The Europa League round of 16. We should be able to beat Basel. If we can hopefully keep a clean sheet, we would really put the pressure on them in that home leg. But we really need a goal here. Alphonso Davies gets it. We're up in the first half. Another goal could be a backbreaker. Kalulu with the tying goal. He misses a pen to follow up. And we are lucky to have a draw. A 1-all draw, but arguably advantage to Basel with them getting that goal in the away leg. So not the most inspiring performance. It doesn't exactly see us out of danger. And now we get to play Dortmund. We have a tired team. We have no choice but to use some substitutes here. We really don't. So, I mean, Kay is going to be back in. Park is going to sit for Sullivan. And that front three is going to change a lot. Jonathan David's going to be up top. We're going to have Cooper. And we're going to have Sullivan. Cooper and Sullivan. And the other Cooper's tired too, so we're going with Taylor. There are a couple of players that I don't think I'd actually want to start this game, ideally. Do we have anybody that can play CDM? Can Taylor play CDM? He can't, nor can Sullivan. It's just I don't know what to do with Jonathan David, knowing that he's exhausted. I don't know what to do. I think the only thing we can do is to put Cooper there. David out for not Olsen, I can tell you that much. So for once, the lack of depth is absolutely coming back to haunt me here. We're going to play Gagnon as a cam, which I never thought we would do, but we're going to play Gagnon as a cam. And can he have a legendary performance here against Dortmund? This would take a gargantuan effort from this team. Mathis scores 4 minutes in. That guy scores goals for fun as a right back. I don't understand it. It's not like it's off of free kicks. He's not freaking Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't get what's going on. But we have the lead through the first half against, again, a team that's given us a lot of trouble over the past 4 seasons. And as long as we can hold a draw here, Jonathan David makes it 2. We just beat Dortmund with a weakened lineup. That is a tremendous result, especially after you think, drawing Bayern, or, losing the Bayern, drawing Werder Bremen. That is an amazing result against Dortmund with that kind of mix and mash team, or mix and match team, we should say. But that sets the stage for this game against Basel, where I'm just not sure. We probably should have signed White and played him in that game, by the way, let's be honest. If we lose, I'm going to be upset that I didn't play. But, oh my God, 2 games in 3 days. In theory, we should be able to beat Basel. And again, it's kind of the thinking of, well, if we're not good enough to beat them, then what's the point? Because if we can't beat them, we're not going to beat the best of the best later on in this tournament. That's just not going to happen. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. As Kerr can't start, that's going to have to be the team. We'll play more. Kay's actually in good form. I mean, shooting-wise, let's play Kay. He's in good form. We'll play him in the middle. It's a little bit of a risk, but we'll go for it. This is a really tough choice, but I think because of my thought process, I'm going to go with that. If we can't beat Basel, you've seen the teams that are left. There is some tough competition from here on out. If this team can get to that point, I'll extend my hand and help pull them over the finish line if I can. We need to beat Basel, though. We're tied 1-1. They have the away goal difference, so we need at least a goal here. Or if, again, if the score holds, if there is no score and it ends up being a 0-all draw, Davies misses a pen. If it ends up being a 0-all draw, Davies with the revenge. As it stands, we're through. They tied it. As it stands, we're going to extra time. If we score again, they need 2. If they score again and we score, we're good. We might be going to extra time. I wish we could jump in. 10 minutes left. Jonathan David, let's go. 88th minute winner. Jonathan David is the hero. We were 2 minutes away plus stoppage time from extra time and potentially penalties. Jonathan David is the hero with 2 minutes left. We are through to the next round of the Europa League. We're going to the Elite Eight. That is tremendous. Who's it going to be? Are they going to tell me who we're up against? Drum roll, please. It is Real Betis. Oh my God. So it's Inter and Fiorentina, Spurs, Bayern, Everton, Leverkusen. We draw Real Betis, who again, no disrespect to them, but out of that group of teams, that's probably who I would have wanted to play if I could have hand-chosen my opponents. Unbelievable luck through the Europa League thus far, as some matches were rescheduled. Not these two, unfortunately. We have 3 games here in the next week. And then again, thankfully, some matches have been rescheduled there to give us a little bit of a break in between these games. Such a busy stretch to end this season. We play Hoffenheim. Lineup-wise, obviously some changes have to happen. I mean, most people on this team need a goddamn break. So, this is going to be tough because Mathis has to stay in. Mathis is up to an 83, man. I said he wasn't the future at right back. Like, again, he's not going to be... I said he wasn't going to be, like, all-world. He's getting close, man. Again, great development. Normally, you see guys cap out towards the mid-80s. They can kind of approach, towards the low 80s. They can kind of approach the mid-80s. Yeah, Mathis is doing that. He is killing it. Oh, God, Taylor's going to be out. Cameron's going to be at left back. And we should have enough people to pull this off. Kerr's going to be up top. Kay is going to be at CDM. We're going to go with Cooper, Sullivan, and Moore in the lineup. And whether or not that works, I don't know. Taylor is also going to get the start. So unfortunately for Mathis, he just kind of has to play out of necessity. But that's okay. I would imagine he's going to be subbed off at some point. Let's see what happens here against Hoffenheim. As it stands, we are in 5th, but by a thread. It's a really tough schedule to try and pull this off. And people will say, well, if you don't have a good finish in the Bundesliga compared to what you could have had you held on to people, it's your own fault. Cooper scores in the 12th minute, and to that I will say, you are not wrong. This is where that extra depth would have really paid off, but I trust the players that we have. And right now, we are handling Hoffenheim. As long as we get a draw here, I'm okay with that. Jonathan David's on for Kerr. 15 minutes left. They tie it on a penalty. And that's how it stands. So we get a draw against Hoffenheim. A late penalty evens it up for them. We are still in 5th, though. We'll see if that remains to be the case. But a decent result, at the very least, picking up points. We've dropped a couple of points along the way, but in only one game thus far in this episode have we not walked away with at least a point in any league match, which is crazy. Now, the Canadian team, again, is fine. As far as this team against Augsburg, who are very, very much overperforming, let's take a look at the Youth Academy. This might be where we have to rely on some people. This might be the time. We haven't looked at him all episode. Josh Evans is a great addition. Adam White, not so much, because we're going to have to train him up. So he's going to go. Brett White certainly out. Russell Kerr is looking good. I'll have to train him up a little bit. Lucas White, of course, we know is an absolute monster. Frank Moore, we need, and pun intended, more information on. Brian Clark, we already know. He's going to be amazing. He's going to be so good. Colin James is going to be cut. Frank Olsen could end up being decent. Russell Banks is gone. Reese Burns is gone. Pierre Brown, he's a 48. We're going to cut him. Thomas Mathis might stay. Victor Smith is out. Anthony Kerr, likely to be cut. We're going to sign Josh Evans. We are going to sign Lucas White. Those will be the two for now because we cannot sign Brian Clark. So 2 additions out of the Youth Academy. They have been promoted because we need just a little bit of extra depth for these games down the stretch. So Evans, exciting, which is tremendous. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whew. 5-star, 5-star, high-low as a cam/center forward. Be still my beating heart. Josh Evans and Larry Kerr, the future of the Canadian team. Oh my God. That is insanity. How good is, oh God, he was a CDM. How good's Lucas White? Oh my God. 4-star, 3-star, medium, high? Dude, these guys are unreal. Potential to be special. Lucas White. Oh my God. Dude, those are organization-changing additions. My God, the addition of White and Evans just took this team to a different level. It legitimately did. That is absolutely insane. Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's get this team organized. Kay's in good form, but he's tired. Piet will play. Mathis is dead. White is a righty. I'm going to put White at right back. He's not very fast, but I still want to see what he can do out there. He might be better, actually, to play. James can play CDM, of course. Maybe James at right back, because he is 5'11". You know, let's play James out at right back. I just wish we could sign that one dude. That would be great. And then let's see. Striker-wise, it's also a little bit rough right now for what we're going to be able to do striker-wise. Mathis will be on the bench over Cameron, despite the, despite the fatigue issue. Clark's going to be in, obviously. Davies is going to be in as well. Whoops. And then striker-wise, I mean, Evans is going to be up top. Evans is going to be up top. It's a bit of a risk. He's only a 63, but we're going for it. And then striker, I don't know. Kay's got to play. Kay has to play. So we'll play Kay in the cam spot again. Let's get Kerr onto the bench. Actually, well, I mean, Kerr's exhausted, so we can have him sit out for now. That is the makeshift team that we are rolling with here. Thank God we brought in those 2 additions. It's against Augsburg, who you would not expect to see in 3rd place with 9 games to go. That is where they currently stand, though. It's an away leg. With the amount of changes to the lineup, I am absolutely hoping for a draw here, although they are not in the best form. They got crushed by Dortmund in the last game, and of course we have recently beaten Dortmund. But again, a draw is what I'm hoping for. They take the opening goal. 17 minutes in. We need somebody to step up here in a striking capacity. It might take a substitute. Kay in the 45th. Let's go. Huge goal from Kay. And he scores again. 2 goals from Mark-Anthony Kay. The CDM in the attacking role. Is that enough for the win? Oh my God, it is. Mark-Anthony Kay. Not exactly a striker by any stretch. Steps up in a big-time way, and that is the type of performance we're going to need. Huge moment from Kay. Dude, this episode has been... like, when's it going to fall apart on us? Because this has been too perfect. This has been too perfect. Now, unfortunately, I mean, it's still a dogfight right now for these top 6 spots. But everything, essentially, that could have gone right for us this far has. And it's like, okay, man, when's our luck going to run out, you know? So, I mean, Kay has to play in this next game. He has to. David's going to be in by request, even though he's tired. Mathis is going to be back in. Park is going to take a seat because he's no longer in good form. We'll get Cameron on the bench. So, unfortunately, We have a couple of guys sitting that I'm not too happy to see sitting, but that's okay. Limited players who aren't a part of the bench and that are on the reserves. So a huge game here against Wolfsburg. I'm not sure where they are right now in the table. They are not number 1. That would be Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim right now cruising towards a league title. Wolfsburg in 9th on 37 points. But you saw how many teams were on 43 or around that mark. A draw here would be nice. A win would be more than I could ever ask for after the run that we've been on. But my God, if we win this one, the dream is alive. The hope is alive. Mathis scores again. Mathis should be a striker. We're going to check after this game how many goals he's scored. He is unreal from that right back position. I cannot believe it. 20 minutes left. We're on pace for the draw. 10 minutes left. Bakayoko scores. Just hold on for the draw. Got it. I'll take it. A late goal from Bakayoko sucks. But hey, a point's a point at the very least at this stage. We maintain a spot, although if Hertha Berlin win, I imagine today or on the Monday, that puts us into a little bit of trouble. So we're going to take White out of training because I want to focus on Evans. Josh Evans out of nowhere, setting himself up to be one of the legends of this series. If we're able to go the distance over the next month before FIFA 20 comes out, which I plan on it. Because I'm still having way too much fun with this. But let's see here. We do have the international break. David, you're welcome for playing. It's a shame we couldn't get the win, but I'll take it. Let's see if we stay. Well, then again, it's going to switch, isn't it? Berlin dropped points. So we're still where we want to be. International friendly against the Ivory Coast. Of course, we're just going to burn through these as quickly as possible. 2-1 loss of Bakayoko with the goal. Davies missed a penalty. Again, I don't think the international friendlies matter towards us getting into the World Cup or not. At least judging by what happened last time. We beat Egypt in the last bout of international friendlies, and we beat them again here. David and Davies with the goal, the D&D connection. Ruining Egypt like D&D ruined Game of Thrones. Oh, God. All right, training-wise, as we'll have our scouting back here as well. I can't believe Evans was that good. That's crazy. It's crazy that he was that good. All right, let's see what we have here. Currently in 5th. Training injury. Okay, Josh Moore is out for 2 months. That's him done for the season. We got manager of the month last month. Oh my God. Apparently that name is a gift from... Oh my God. Harry Williams. Dude. Dude. The players we are finding right now. Losing... the names, it just escapes me right now. Who got hurt again? I know it's the right mid. It's Moore. That's who it was. Just too many Joshes. Losing Moore for the rest of the season sucks. That does mean Evans gets onto the bench full time, though, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that's a pretty rough loss because Moore's been pretty damn good this year at times. Park is out. I'm good with running with this team right now. Most of the players are in good form. I don't want to take out K as long as he's playing well. What I do want to check really quickly, though, how many goals does Mathis have as a right back? 7 goals as a right back with 49 shooting. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We play Frankfurt, who are in 4th. We currently reside in 6th. It's another key game against a top opponent as we try to keep our place within the top 6. Let's see what we can do. Again, a draw isn't a disaster. A win is preferred. A loss is a nightmare for our chances. Can we get the win over Frankfurt is the question. I hope we can. We're picking up some yellow cards, which concerns me. James and Davies. Hopefully there's not a suspension incoming. Hopefully there's not a red card. Jonathan David scores, and Douglas Louise ties it fairly quickly. 15 minutes left. Can we get the win? Late winner, or no late winner? We held the lead for 4 minutes. It's ultimately a draw, equally damaging to both sides, and that moves us into the first leg of the, we'll call it the Elite Eight of the Europa League, our matchup against Real Betis. And we'll see if that Europa League dream can continue. One can only hope, as we might have to step in. And God, that game on the weekend against Leverkusen is rough, as you would have just seen there. They beat Cologne 5-0, or 5-1, I think it was, recently, which is pretty worrisome. Now, taking a look here at not only Real Betis, but I also want to take a look at Basel to see how we compared to them. And if we take a look here at Basel, good thing is they're both going to be right here. 75 or 77, 75, 74. Not a bad team. And then you look at Real Betis, 83, 79, 78. Again, there wasn't an easy answer. They've come along better than I thought they would have. Lo Celso and Wesley up top, 87 Lopez. That's going to be tough. The difference may be, though, the three at the back. We don't play three at the back teams all that often. As a result, maybe our team will be able to do something special with that. Now, Cooper's in good form. Cooper's in good form. But he's not going to play. We're going to move James. We're going to actually take Piet off for the first time in a while and get Park back onto that back line. James back up into the midfield. And we're going to see what we can do. If there was a time that we were going to jump in, it would be the second leg. But up first, it's the home leg against Real Betis. They managed to get past Sporting, apparently. Let's see what we can do. Our toughest matchup yet. Camarasa scores in the 15th minute. They have an away goal. Another one would be brutal to overcome. Halfway through, Unal makes it 2. And to have a chance, we might need to play this second leg. 15 minutes left. James gets one back at least. But we are down 2-1 on aggregate. They have the away goal differential as well. If we're going to make it through, I think we have to play that leg. And now we get to play Leverkusen with a tired team. Cooper's in poor form because of one bad showing. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So it's going to be Park who takes a seat in favor of Sullivan. Let's get Piet in there for James. And then attacking-wise, Davies is still going to play. We're going to go with something like this. Something like that with Davies up top. Looks good to me. Pretty much everybody we would want in at that point is in. And we're going to see what we can do here against Leverkusen. Tough matchup. We're currently outside of the top 6 with 6 games to go. We need a win here, no doubt about it, against tough competition, as they just dropped a game, the first leg of that matchup against Everton. We really do need a win here if we want to keep that top 6 dream alive. Alphonso Davies on the penalty gives us the lead. Deulofeu misses a penalty. Huge moment there. We kept the lead through the first half. Can we hold on, though? Approaching 20 minutes left. Cunha gets the goal. 10 minutes left. Will there be a late winner on either side? No, there will not. Evans picks up an injury off the bench. So it's another draw, another point. I'm not sure where that sees us in the Bundesliga. Evans is out for a week with a groin injury. So that sets the stage here for a very interesting game against Real Betis. I should have done the training there, but that's okay. A very interesting game against Betis as we look over in the Bundesliga. We are currently in 6th. We have Hertha Berlin on tiebreaker. They're also on 46 points. We're obviously not going to win the league. We're 20 points behind Hoffenheim. We could easily finish in 2nd, we could easily finish in 10th. It's close. We know we're not getting relegated, at least. We got that going for us. And some of the secondary matchups against some of the tougher competition, that's already out of the way. And in the DFB Pokal, the German Cup, if we get past Leverkusen, it's Hoffenheim or Hamburg on the other side. Not Bayern, not Dortmund. Not saying that means it's easy, but in theory, it's easier. Now the question is, what team do we roll with here? Because Cooper is obviously going to be in. Evans obviously will not be. Jonathan David would be up top. Well, not up top, but at least in the cam role. Clark would need to start. I think we'd roll with Piet and James. Park at center back and pretty much run with the team that's seen us gather, so much success over the course of this season. We do have the 2 injuries to some of the depth options. However, I think we're going to call it there because I'm going to leave it up to you. I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be, but still, it's a big moment. Do we play the second leg, and is that just official policy now that we play the second leg when we have a situation like this? It's the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Again, we're down 2-1. A couple of only one draw right now. 3 out of the 4 sets have one team in the lead. Although granted, technically, but the 1-1, whoever has the away goal would be through. I'm going to leave that up to you, though. It's a huge game against Real Betis. This has been by far one of our most successful episodes, but we play Betis here, Dusseldorf on the weekend. Then we have the semifinal of the German Cup against Leverkusen, Leipzig, Hertha Berlin, Cologne, and Hamburg at the end of the season. And not to mention, there could be even more. There could be a German Cup final, and we could make it to the Final Four of the Europa League. A lot was accomplished, and there's still a long way to go. Do we try to bail out the boys down in Spain, or do we just see what they can do on their own? Let me know. We will finish up this season in the next episode. It's a risk stopping this while momentum is as high as it is, but I want your input on what we do next.